Hello, and thank you for taking this time to hear my professional development session plan. My name is Haley Flack, and this presentation is going to focus on improving vocabulary and reading comprehension in second grade ELA classrooms through the use of research-based instructional strategies. The purpose of this professional development plan is to address gaps in students' comprehension, particularly related to vocabulary development. This session is designed to strengthen instructional practices by improving teachers, by providing teachers with practical research-based strategies that they can immediately implement in their classrooms to improve student achievement. This session is based on a needs assessment informed by student data. The data indicated that students demonstrated limited vocabulary knowledge, often struggling to understand grade level text. In addition, teachers expressed a need for strategies that are both research-based and practical for everyday classroom use. Our goal today is that teachers will be able to implement at least 2 research-based vocabulary and reading comprehension strategies to improve student understanding of grade level text. The goal emphasizes not just learning, but actual classroom implementation. We want teachers to be able to walk away from this professional development ready to put these strategies in place in their classrooms to immediately help improve student outcomes. By the end of the session, participants will be able to understand explicit vocabulary instruction, observe think aloud strategies, apply strategies to grade level text, and plan for classroom implementation. These objectives are aligned with the overall goal and support both understanding and the application. This session is grounded in key principles of adult learning. First, the content is directly relevant to teachers' daily classroom practices. Next, the session includes active engagement through discussion and collaboration. Third, participants will have opportunities to apply what they have learned immediately. These elements help ensure that the professional development is meaningful and effective. To begin the session, participants will engage in a word associations icebreaker. Teachers will be given an academic vocabulary word and asked to reflect on its meaning and how their students might interpret it. They will then discuss their responses with a partner or in a small group. This activity activates prior knowledge, highlights potential misconceptions, and introduces the importance of vocabulary comprehension. This session focuses on 2 key instructional strategies: explicit vocabulary instruction and think alouds. These strategies were selected because they are research-based and directly address vocabulary and comprehension challenges identified in the student data. Explicit vocabulary instruction. Explicit vocabulary instruction involves teaching words clear, structured, and in a meaningful way. Teachers provide student-friendly definitions, use the word in context, and offer examples and non-examples. Students are then encouraged to actively use the vocabulary word, which helps deepen their understanding and supports their comprehension. Next, the think aloud strategy. The think aloud strategy involves modeling and the thinking process while reading. Teachers verbalize their thoughts to show how they monitor comprehension and make connections and clarify confusion. This strategy helps students develop their own metacognitive skills and become more effective readers. So with this strategy, it really makes me think of like using context clues to help us figure out the meaning of words and modeling us using those context words and making connections through other things that we've heard in the text or real life connections to the text, which also supports reading comprehension. In this portion of the session, the presenter will model both strategies using grade level text. Teachers observe how the vocabulary is introduced and how a think aloud is used during reading. This modeling provides a clear example of what effective instruction should look like. After modeling, the participants engage in guided discussion using questions such as, how does vocabulary support comprehension? What did you notice during the think aloud? How does this address student needs? These questions help deepen the understanding and connect strategies directly to classroom practice. Then, participants will participate in a group activity during the elaboration portion of the professional development. They will work in small groups to apply what they've learned. Each group will identify 2 vocabulary words from a sample text, create a student-friendly definition, and develop one comprehension question. So in this activity, teachers are practicing what they would do to prepare their lessons and how they would use this in their day-to-day instruction. This collaborative activity promotes active engagement and allows teachers to practice using these strategies, which is important for them to do in order to walk away ready to use these strategies. Okay, to ensure continued impact, a followed-up plan is included. Teachers will implement at least one strategy in their classroom and bring student work samples to the PLC meeting. During this meeting, they will reflect on their implementation and make adjustments as they need. Ongoing support will also be provided through coaching and peer collaboration. At the end of the session, participants will complete an evaluation form. This includes a rating scale to assess the clarity, relevance, engagement, and confidence that the teachers have in implementing these strategies. Participants will also respond to an open-ended question about what they plan to implement and what additional supports they might need. So, what we really want to come from this professional development is that teachers feel more supported in vocabulary instruction. They walk away with some things in their toolbox ready to implement. And that overall, that vocabulary instruction is improved, and thus that improves student outcomes. This concludes my presentation on professional development, on the professional development session that I would plan to implement. Thank you so much for listening to my plan.